Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. Today is the day I'm working real hard because my girlfriend and I are going on vacation in a week. I'm going to be gone for 6 days, and I want to make some videos in advance to post on the days I'm gone. So I'm pretty much going to be working the entire time she's working, making some videos. For y'all, you won't even know anything happened, apart from the fact that I won't be checking my comments and responding. You won't even know I'm gone. Anyway, to buckle in, I went ahead and ordered some Papa John's pizza, and they had a special where you could add breadsticks for just $4, so you get this like giant, basically like 3 meals worth of bread and garlic and oily goodness for $4. I couldn't pass it up, so I got it. So I had 2 slices of my pizza. I experimented, I got jalapenos on it for the first time. I think I like it. I think I might do it again. Got the thin crust. Only problem with the thin crust is they don't give you the special garlic sauce when you get the thin crust. I wish they would give it anyway. I mean, sure, thin crust pizzas don't have the crust to dip into the garlic sauce when you're done with it, but I mean, that doesn't mean I need to like not get my special garlic sauce like I'm some kind of plebeian. But anyway, the breadsticks come with the special garlic sauce anyway, so win-win, huh? Now, the point of all this is I needed to get a drink, and you know that feeling when you're like out of Jones cream soda? So you look into the fridge and you're like, well, what the heck's in here? And before you're resigned to pretty much getting some water. And you look in and it turns out there's actually 3 whole bottles of Jones cream soda there. Now, I'm not going to drink all 3 bottles right now, but I did open one of them. It was amazing. I mean, the stuff is just like pure sugar. It's terrible for you. But I don't even care. You know, I don't even care. It just makes me feel like I'm a god. Oh my god, that was so good. Alright. So what do we do here? Well, we could play the Unbound Elemental. It will die to the Panda plus Shapeshift, just as will the Harvest Golem, so I might as well do it. And in case it doesn't die, we can actually coin into an Earth Elemental on turn 4. Druids have a very difficult time getting past this thing without any hexes or anything. It looks like he's going to accelerate some stuff himself. Argent Commander is a pretty good answer to Unbound Elemental. Well, if I'd played the Harvest Golem, I would have been in much better shape. Alright, let's think. Do I play the Feral Spirits here? Or do I just coin into an Earth Elemental? This is kind of weak because he's got 7 damage right here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do the Spirits, because what these guys do is they take out his board. And, of course, if he kills him in some clever fashion, I've got a Lightning Storm next turn. Wow, he's not even going to try. That's fantastic. So, my Feral Spirit, 3 mana. Killed a 2-mana minion and a 6-mana minion. Pretty good times. Right, now I am overloaded here, which is unfortunate. And you got a Demolisher, which is also unfortunate. And neither of these creatures dies to Lightning Storm. All of these things are unfortunate. So we're going to play the Harvest Golem here. And, I mean, at this point, he's way down on cards. Actually, he's not way down. He's got 5 to my 5. He might actually be ahead. Let's see. So my Golem, first iteration dies, second iteration dies. This will not die to a Lightning Storm. Another Crocodile Scout here. Man, I want to play Archmage Lightning Storm, but that's not for another couple of turns. Fire Elemental, yes please. So, down goes the Unbeliever. Is it worth it to coin Earthshock to kill this Crocolisk off? No, I'm not going to do it. Well, what am I spending my coin on? Well, I could spend my coin next turn on Unbound Elemental, coin Earth Elemental. That's really good, so I'm going to just save it for that. The barrel this time flies over my Fire Elemental, hits me in the face, which is good. So that means it's maximally difficult for my opponent to kill my Fire Elemental. This guy, Eli, cannot skip a beat. If he has even one lame turn, he either has to try to burn me out or he loses the game. And it looks like he's actually going to try to burn me out. So he's going to swipe my Elemental. He's going to shapeshift it. Okay, so he takes 6 damage for the trouble. And now we're going to drop this Earth Elemental, which is very difficult for a Druid to kill. He's only got 3 power on the board, and I'm also going to have a 3/5 here. Things are looking pretty good for Papa B. And there we go. So he needs basically a big game Hunter to take this down with any kind of aplomb or panache. And Naturalize would also do it, and then maybe he could burn me out. There's still this 3/3 to contend with. Next turn I'll have 5 mana, which is not enough for Archmage. And it looks like he's just going to go ahead and play his own giant dude. Fair and square. Okay, so let's think. I could Lightning Storm, that will beef my guy up, which would make this 4. So Lightning Storm plus this will not kill the Earth Element, or the Ironbark Protector. Lightning Storm plus Earth Shock is a minimum of 3 damage. 3 plus 4 is only 7. So if this dealt 3 damage to the Ironbark, it plus Earth Shock plus the Unbound would kill it. But if it didn't, then I would just be screwed. So maybe a safer approach is just to throw away my own Earth Elemental, Lightning Storm the rest of his stuff, and just content myself with some card advantage. I mean, that seems pretty standard. So, okay, let's flip a totem. Got spell damage, as luck would have it. Well, now there's actually a chance I will not need the Earth Elemental, so I will... Well, actually, hang on. I could actually Earth Shock this Ironbark, couldn't I? And then swing for 10. No, he's got too much health for that. So we're going to Lightning Storm here. And I'm watching the Ironbark. I actually win the coin flip on that, so my opponent must probably be very mad right now, because I just pulled off 1 in... Well, not that bad. I guess it's 1 in 8 odds that I could kill his Ironbark without having to throw my Earth Elemental at it. Now, keep in mind, even if I had lost that game, I still would have had my Unbound Elemental over here, so it's not like it was a complete devastation, but he might be very annoyed by those 1 in 8 odds that I just beat. First getting spell damage, then getting 4 damage on the Ironbark. Alright, so I dealt 7 damage to his face last turn instead of killing the Demolisher. I'm paying for it now because he's buffing it up a little bit. And he's going to shoot my Elemental, and he just needs a little bit more damage. Shapeshift would have finished it off. He chose actually not to get the Shapeshift. Interesting choice. Alright, well, let's keep it simple, keep it safe. We're going to just play the... Okay, I was going to play Archmage and Earth Shock the Demolisher, but I guess we don't need to do that. That is the game. We get a little bit lucky, but I was probably going to win even without that luck, so wasting a little bit of good luck there. I know it doesn't work that way. Events are independent, blah, 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 but anyway. Got some good luck when I didn't need it is what I'm trying to say. My Jones Cream Soda Cap says, life to you is a dashing and bold adventure. Wow, that's great. Thank you, Jones. Appreciate that. Our last druid was Eli, or possibly Ellie. Here we have Ellie yet, the druid. Gonna mulligan these weird conditional mass removal spells, obviously keeping the Knife Juggler for the early play. What are the odds it will live? Approximately 0.00%, but you know. You gotta put it out there, you gotta try. What's life if you don't try? It's still life. You're just not trying as hard. That's a pretty good quote by Papa Boris. Put that in the book somewhere. And we got a Feral Spirit. Okay, that'll be a pretty nice combo with the Knife Juggler if it survives on turn 2. Which, first of all, he has to have nothing. Oh my god, is he going to play a goddamn Yeti? He's going to play a Harvest Golem. Well, I'm not the world's biggest fan of innervating 3-drops, but if you are going to innervate a 3-drop, that's about the best one. I'm not going to throw out this Knife Juggler just to die to a Harvest Golem. So, Feral Spirit isn't a great answer to Harvest Golem. I'm probably not even going to play it on turn 3. I'm probably just going to play my own Harvest Golem on turn 3. Hopefully he just shapeshifts this turn. I hope he doesn't have anything to follow up with. That would be the nicest thing he could do for me. But yeah, even though it's not the most impressive innervation, a Harvest Golem on turn 1 is a little bit annoying to deal with. He's basically gone down a card to put this out here earlier, but it is a pretty difficult thing to remove. Alright, he's going to use his coin as well, so he's playing back-to-back 3-drops. And they're both Harvest Golems. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Alright, well, do I play the Feral Spirit? The problem with Feral Spirits is they don't actually kill these Golems, and then I'm overloaded. So I'm not going to do it. We're going to just play this and hope for the best. So he's gone 2 cards down now, playing his Harvest Golems out. Of course, you can get back up ahead this turn. The only minions that have been played so far this game are Harvest Golem. That's kind of funny, actually. If he plays another... I actually hope he plays another Harvest Golem, just so we can see and say the only minions that were played this game were Harvest Golems for 4 turns in a row. I'd like to play Knife Juggler then Feral Spirit, so the Spirits protect the Knife Juggler, but time's kind of passing that Feral Spirit by. That innervated Harvest Golem really put the dampers on my clampers, as it were. Yeah, that's a real saying. Okay, so I could play the Feral Spirits here, but I'm not going to. I want to try to get his board as clear as I can. Gonna play Stormwind Knight here. And kill off the first iteration of one of them. The knight still has 3 health left on it, so that makes it a little bit difficult for the opponent to kill. He'll have to do some kind of a spell or a shapeshift or something, plus one of these golems. Acolyte of Pain, I'm pretty happy about, because while that will give him some card advantage, I'm not that concerned about the card situation. I'm just concerned about keeping the board in my favor. Alright. So we could do Silverhand Knight, or we could do Knife Juggler, Feral Spirit. Well, the advantage of the Knife Juggler, Feral Spirit is it might kill the golem. The disadvantage is if the knifelings hit the acolyte, he'll get extra cards, but he's going to get cards no matter what I do, because if I play this, he can get a card off the squire. If I play this, it's just stupid. If I play this, he can get a card off of that. So yeah, we are actually going to do Knife Juggler thing. As long as they don't both hit the acolyte, I'm pretty okay with it, and as long as one of them hits the damaged golem, I'll be fine. Okay, there's the first one on the acolyte. That's not good. And the second one, I like how they run in one at a time when you have a Knife Juggler out in the face. So we miss what we wanted to hit. But the thing is, this was going to give him 2 cards anyway, probably, and now it's still giving him 2 cards. The Feral Spirit can finish off these things. If he has some kind of removal spell, though, I could get into a little bit of trouble. I'd like for him just to play some kind of minions or do nothing. If he clears my stuff, I could be in a lot of trouble, because I'm only got 4 mana next turn, and I can't play my knight. I have to play my panda, which as a 4 toughness dude for 5 mana, or for 4 mana, is a little bit fragile. And my board is pretty fragile right now as well, but if I can just live... Alright, so Savage Roar is interesting. That does allow him to kill off my stuff, but he also loses his stuff, which is fine by me. Then we drop a panda, and we call it a day. So there's his card. Hopefully there's no innervate shenanigans going on here. Okay. Well, all said and done, he's got 6 cards to my 5. I have the play. But now he responds, so if he can respond to this and get his own thing down, he'll be ahead. I do have an interesting play next turn for 7 mana. I can do Archmage, Forked Lightning, and kill 2 3-toughness creatures. He's just going to swipe it. Well, it's a bit of a victory for him to swipe that, because obviously swipe can have much greater impact than just what it did right here. But I can't complain too much, so we're going to drop this and a totem, try to get those totems rolling. Taunt would be nice, stop him from killing my Silverhand Knight. I don't get it. If he has another swipe, he can clear my board. That would be the worst. That would be just the worst. Just the worst thing is what that would be. But as long as he doesn't have a swipe, I'm as happy as a tree. Get it? Because he's a Malfurion, which is all natural. Okay, Sunwalker. This is alright. I can silence it. Alternatively, I can use Forked Lightning on it. Let's think about the situation here. So, I could silence it. What does that really achieve? It lets me kill the panda with my Silverhand Knight, and the Squire plus Lightning Bolt will take that down, I guess. I could play the Archmage, throw the Squire at the Divine Shield, Forked Lightning, get this down to 2. The Archmage doesn't really help Forked Lightning do anything at all, really. Alright, I could do this guy, Forked Lightning, and Lightning Bolt, and then this would be actually quite huge. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do this. Going to make a totem, because I can. Spell damage makes no real difference, unfortunately. Yeah, because this only does 4, and this only does 3. So we're going to throw that guy away. Got a Forked Lightning. Lightning Bolt. Look at his face, and now he's got a 4/6, which is kind of a beast demon. Next turn, I will have 6 mana, so I can play the Archmage if he gives me breathing room. The card he most wants, I guess, is an Ironbark Protector. If he played Ironbark Protector, what I would probably do is silence it and hit 8 for the face. Or, you know, pray very hard and get a Hex. This guy doesn't scare me in the slightest. Is he going to give it a mark of something? Oh, joke's on you, buddy. Joke's on you. So a 2/11 taunt that gets enraged is a pretty big deal. Luckily for me. Exhibit A, silence this. So now it's just 2/7. Luckily for me, Exhibit B, that happens. Now I could kill this thing, or I could get 12 damage through. Well, let's see what totem we get before we make a commitment. Didn't get the taunt. We'll just hit him for 12 damage. That's a lot of damage. So I'm threatening lethal now. He's only got a 2/7 that does nothing. Bring it on. How good is my reach? Well, I think I have another Lightning Bolt in here. Is he going to play Defender of Argus? That's what it smells like. If I get a Fire Elemental, that does a little bit. Lightning Bolt does a little bit. I don't really have much in the way of charge creatures here. So yeah, if he actually plays Defender of Argus, oh, now he needs a Sun Fury Protector. He doesn't have it though. Ah, he had a bunch of creatures. We have an irrelevant last turn Sea Giant. But alas, it doesn't do you any good. Or does it? Oh, wait, does he actually survive here? 4, 8, 10, 11. Wow, he lives. I get him down to 1 health, but I can't kill him. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, we'll throw down everything. He's not going to kill me on his turn, I don't think. Is he? 8, 12, 14. He would need 15 damage. I mean, in theory, that's possible with 2 Savage Roars. But we're just going to go for it. Wow, yeah, I didn't think he could actually survive just by killing the Flame Tongue, but he could. Well, if he wins this game with 2 Savage Roars, then congratulations, Elliot. I just don't see that happening, and now I've got a fair amount of time to find my Lightning Bolts. Okay, clearly doesn't have the kill. He desperately needs a Defender of Argus, or Sun Fury Protector to have any hope. Mad Bomber. And it hits him in the face of all these targets. The guy dies. By a Mad Bomber to the face. How ignominious of a way to go down. So that's 2 Druids back to back. I'd say the second one, Elliot, was harder than his brother Ellie. But still both ends up being wins with only minimal assistance from the RNG gods. So 4-0, not too surprising if I can say that without sounding like a totally arrogant asshole. This Shaman deck has everything good card quality, all the key Shaman stuff. I mean, it should be a pretty good run. God damn it. If there were gods, Jones Cream Soda would be what they drink. Paladin. Moy the Paladin. Well, I have Lightning Storm, which helps a little bit against Paladins. And, that's about it. Otherwise, the fact that their recruits, I would say, are typically a little bit better than my totems. Stoneforged Axe, I forgot about that. That helps tremendously. Using this, even just to kill 3 recruits, is great. If it kills 1 creature and 2 recruits, I'm on board with that. Okay, now we have to decide here after he plays a recruit. I can either coin into the Unbound Elemental, and then try to go for the Stormforged Axe Lightning Bolt to buff it up later, or I can just do what I'm actually going to do, which is just play the Stormforged Axe, and start the game off with some card advantage. Now next turn, I could coin into the Unbound Elemental, to get past, using the coin basically to get past the overload. Is that worth it? If I just play the Grunt, it can die to the Demolisher. Shoot. Balls. Oh, I hate playing a Lightning Bolt because it's so good with Unbound Elemental and Violet Teacher. Now I'm going to make an unorthodox play here. I don't know if this is right or not. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Demolisher twice to kill it. It hits me in the face, which is good. So this Demolisher would have dealt a total of 4 damage, barreled to the face for 2 and hitting it twice for 2 more. But man, I really think that's worth it so that I can play the Violet Teacher coin Lightning Bolt next turn. Alright, he's going to heal up this thing. That's not going to stop me from making my play though. I could do now the Owl to silence it. No, we're just going to do this. Violet Teacher, coin. I'm going to Lightning Bolt the Demolisher, and I'm going to use the Axe to finish it off. I feel like that's worth it, even though I could have saved the Axe and Lightning Bolted this. Just getting rid of that Demolisher seems nice to protect my interests here. So I used all my overload before I could play the Unbound Elemental. Boohoo. It's alright though. Next turn I can do the Grunt and a Totem, or the Grunt and Earthshock, or the Owl and the Grunt. Lots of options here. If the Divine Shield's not too big of a deal, I can just ping it off. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Toll. A toll. Alright, let's see what totem we get before we do any commitments. Did not get spell damage. So, I could do the Owl to silence off the Divine Shield, kill that, but then I can't quite kill everything. Something's gonna live. Alright, we'll do this, this, and this. Why did I do what I did? Well, I want to play a little bit around Consecration. If I'd used the Violet Teacher to kill this thing, it would have been at 2 health, and then a Consecration would have wiped my board completely. Here, he's not going to play Consecration, he'll play Ascension, which I think I will silence, actually. Unless it's very pressing, there's a reason for me not to. Yep. So we'll delay the Ogre for a tad. We'll do this. this, this, that. Keeping this board as clear as I can, and next turn I can Ogre and Earthshock if needed. Stormwind Champion's a pretty good draw. I'm gonna have to Hex that, which means no Silverhand Knight and no Ogre. Is Fire Elemental playable here? I mean, I could Fire Elemental this, but no, let's just go ahead and Hex it. That gives me a student as well. I can kill that. I can Earthshock this thing and throw the Violet Teacher at it. That'll give me an extra 1/1. Is that worth doing for the extra 1/1, knowing that this is gonna hit my Violet Teacher anyway? I think it is, actually. A little bit of a lame play, but I mean, if you look at the situation here, I do have a board. It's got 5 cards to my 7, and I've got really big drops. Now, the main question is, am I going to get these guys out of my hand? I need to get them out of my hand, and I'll be fine. If I don't get them out of my hand, I might lose. He plays one of the worst cards in the game, MVP Nightblade. Of course, MVPs being said in quotes, and that puts me in fan-fiddly frickin-tastic shape. We Fire Elemental this bitch. Do I throw the totem or the students? Let's keep the totem collection going, so I'll hang on to the totem. We'll use the students. Boom. Boom. He's now only got 5 cards. I have 7. I've got a ready kill for one of his recruits. I can get 6 damage through, perhaps. Paladins have a hard time dealing 5 damage, especially with the taunt in the way. He is going to peacekeep it, which is not too surprising, and play an Acolyte, which is actually quite good. That will give him at least 2 cards. Can I get some help? I do. Is that worth playing right now? I don't think it is. I think I'm going to play the Ogre, Squire, Totem, and then now what we can do this, this, and this. So he's just got this Acolyte here, and it has to run into a Taunt Totem, so he's not going to get a card for it just yet. I've already used Earthshock and my Owl, which is unfortunate, because if I could silence this, I could actually restore its attack, but I've used both silences that I have, so that's stuck as a 1/5. It's just going to be designated minion swapper. Now, why didn't I play the Earth Elemental last turn? Well, if I just hold on to it, I can actually play this guy and the Earth Elemental in the same turn. I should have thought, though, about the fact that I actually don't have space on my board for both of these guys. Oops. I need something to die so I can play my Earth Elemental, and nothing I have dies. Oh, this is hysterical. This Healing Totem actually screwed me, because if this would have been at 4 health, I could have suicided it at least. Shoot, that's hilarious. Alright, well, let's kill this. Let's kill this thing, because it's bigger and scarier. And, should I play a Totem in the Earth Elemental, or should I just play Silverhand Knight? What is the Totem giving me? A 1/1 or a spell damage? It's not actually that relevant. Neither one of them particularly helps me. The Earth Elemental is just huge, but it's 7 power. This is 6 power. Yeah, we'll do this. As much as I hate it, because I can't make a Totem now. I don't have enough room. I will do it anyway. And I can drop both of these later when maybe my opponent does a better job clearing out some of my stuff. Now at least I can suicide the Argent Squire against one of his recruits. And my Squire, non-Argent variety, might get something that it can suicide itself against as well. Ah, that was delicious. He likes to hit something with the True Silver Champion, as opposed to getting extra cards with the Acolyte, which he could have achieved if he had used the True Silver against my Taunt Totem. I don't blame him for that decision, because he does need to clear my board here. Alright, so what we're going to do here then is think. I can do 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 damage, not enough to kill. I need to kill this guy in 1 blow to minimize my opponent's card acquisitions. We'll do this, this, save my Squire, play the Elemental, play the Stormwind Knight, and swing at the face. So I've got a complete board. Now my opponent can still win this game. He needs Pyromancer Equality or Equality Consecration. That would clear me out completely. And then he'd have two cards to my 1. Feral Spirit would be a pretty good repopulation. Maybe, you know, instead of making this guy, I should have just made a Totem. If you can afford to play around everything, you might as well play around everything, and I'm in such a huge lead here, I could have actually afforded to play around Equality Consecration, even though that's so unlikely. Turns out he doesn't actually have the Consecration or the Avenging Wrath. He's actually True Silver championing into my Earth Elemental. That was close. I bet he's got a Consecration in his deck. So I really should have played around it, and my decision not to hurts. Now, my Fire Elemental. Poor Fire Elemental here. And just sitting there with 1 power and 1 health. It's kind of amusing. My opponent's very low on health. He can take out 2 of my creatures this turn. He needs his hand to give him a Consecration or an Avenging Wrath or something else that can clear a bunch of stuff out. Really, any kind of removal at all will be helpful here, so that he can stop me from trickling through the last points of damage that I need to kill him. Stampeding Coda is a good start. That will kill one of these things, or the Squire, which is actually the best target. He kills my Silverhand Knight now, and what's happening over here? Giving it Divine Shield so it can kill the Yeti but keep all of its health. Alright, so I've got 2, 3, 4 damage. He's down to 7 health. It's going to be actually kind of close. This is a pretty big board. I don't have really any answers other than this Feral Spirit. So Lightning Storm, let's see if I get spell damage. Actually, it doesn't really even matter. Even if I did, all it does is kill this guy and the Recruit, which isn't that helpful. So let's play the Feral Spirit to delay him from killing off my 4 points of damage that I have here. And think, you know what, I'm going to Lightning Storm. After just saying that I wouldn't, because these 2 big guys can kill my Spirit Wolves, and that leaves 2 little guys to kill off 2 sources of damage that I'm dealing. Here, however, by leaving him with just these 2 guys, they can kill my wolves, but unless his hand helps him kill stuff, the remaining damage I have will get through. Okay, so he is going to draw a helpful card for his cause. He can now kill off my Stormwind Knight, which is my biggest damage dealer at a whopping 2. And I've got 3 damage here, so he's down to 4. So I'm like a Lightning Bolt or, you know, Fire Elemental away from finishing this off. And I think I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to keep on hitting him in the face. Because he can't kill me, he doesn't have enough damage. And he has to kill everything I play, or else he just loses. So now he can kill this, and then this, and this, and this. He can actually clear off all of my damage sources. But if I can get, you know, my Lightning Bolt or something, I will win. Cult Master, you have got to be freaking kidding me, Jesus. Well, his top decks have been impeccable. He keeps drawing things that help him destroy my stuff, and then when he needs it at the precise moment, he gets a Cult Master to give him cards for everything he plays. Every single thing he does, every single thing except for this is going to die. So he gets a handful of cards. Now I'm actually going to lose this game, but if he had drawn stuff in the opposite order, if he had drawn like the Cult Master first, before this Healer, and before the Kodo, even before the Argent Commander, he would have trivially lost. Now I'm facing lethal damage next turn, and there's nothing I have that will actually let me win. Well, I can't complain too much about this game because at the end of the day, he did get insanely lucky top decking the cards in the order that he top decked them in, but I have been pretty lucky in some other games, and like I said in my last video, you have to expect in Hearthstone to get extremely unlucky sometimes. Even if we say this deck has a 90% chance of winning, the odds of it getting to 12-0 were very small, and chances are the odds are smaller than 90%, because in any given game, there's probably a higher than 10% chance that you will screwed by the order of the cards in your deck or in your opponent's deck in a fashion that undermines whatever your skill or your deck quality might have suggested you would achieve. Well, that game sucked. However, it was kind of my mistake. I did play the Stormwind Knight instead of playing a Totem. So had I kept the Stormwind Knight back in my hand, it would have survived Equality. I could have even kept the Earth Elemental back in my hand and not played that. And then had I played it after Equality, I would have been in much better shape as well. So I could have done things differently that game. Even with my opponent getting horrendously lucky, there are still things I could have done to improve my odds of winning. Alright. Here, much as I love these 4-drops, I can't count on my opponent to be slow enough for me to justify keeping them, so I'll keep the 3-drop just in case I get nothing else. Apparently I have 2 Violet Teachers in this deck, so that's great. And then the Yeti comes back as well, wow. So we have 1 removal. I don't want to use it though, not only because it would come before the Unbound Elemental and I'd rather play it after, but because if I play it on turn 2, then I cannot play the Unbound Elemental on turn 3. Luckily my opponent is a slow start, he has nothing on turn 1. On turn 2, whatever he plays, I'll hope to be able to respond with the Unbound Elemental. Definitely. So against a Master Swordsmith, which only has 1 power, I will definitely play the Unbound Elemental. And then I've got some options. Next turn, I could play the Feral Spirit and Lightning Bolt for Crazy Overload, or I could play Unbound Elemental and Lightning Bolt to start buffing both of these guys. That's probably what I'd prefer to do, actually. Keep in mind, with spell damage, Lightning Bolt deals 4 damage, which could kill a number of different things. Can I get an Earth Shock? Earth Shock, please. That would just be the greatest. Not a chance. Alright. So what I could do here is I could actually Feral Spirit, make this a 3/5, pop Divine Shield and play Forked Lightning, pop debuff it again, and then that would actually let me kill both of them thanks to spell damage. Or I could play the Forked Lightning first, buff this attack, and then I can play whatever I want after that, which is, say, an Unbound Elemental. Aha, so this is the way to do it. Play the Unbound Elemental, Forked Lightning to buff this first, and then I can actually kill this thing and live to tell about it, keeping spell damage totem in the middle to guard against potential future explosive shots. Now the sad thing is I cannot play Violet Teacher. I'd love to play Violet Teacher, but I'm a mana shy of that. Oh my gosh, he actually has an explosive shot, so my playing around it is really, really significant. Because it actually stops him from killing both of my Unbound Elementals with one explosive shot. Just go ahead and do this. I could save it for the Violet Teacher, of course, but as we say, a good option now is better than the best option later. I'm pretty safe from explosive shot. I can kill one wolf and the elemental, but not the other wolf. And he has just used an explosive shot. What are the odds he has a second one? Not very big, it turns out. Now this 4/3 is pretty annoying because all my stuff is 2 power. And if I Lightning Bolt, then, you know, I can't play Violet Teacher. I could Totem, Argent Squire, and Lightning Bolt. But, you know, I'm actually just going to play the Violet Teacher and swing. Get some damage. 3's at 20 health. He wants Buzzard Hounds here. If he does that, he's back in the game. But otherwise, even if he does that, I mean, I've got these 2 Taunters, which will help mitigate the effects of the Hounds. Alright, he's going to silence, what, the Taunt or the Teacher? So he decides to silence me from getting any students, which is pretty smart. Is yet another 3 toughness thing. These silences. These silences will be the death of me. Alright, let's go ahead and make a Yeti, because that's nice. Lightning Bolt to that. Throw this away there. Kill that. Do that there. Make a Berserker there. Pass the turn. So he still wants Buzzard Hounds. 3 of the Hounds would get eaten up by this wolf. The 4th could kill the Violet Teacher. And he'd get 4 cards, which would give him a pretty sizable lead. So I'd have to burn him out in that case. Plays the Magus, which can die to my Yeti. And a Secret. This is a tricky one. I'm going to check for this, the Freezing Trap with the Violet Teacher. Freezing Trap? Yes. So that means I actually get to replay her. It's kind of like a heal for the Violet Teacher. And then we can still use the Yeti to kill the Magus. And yeah, I'll just play the Violet Teacher back. Seems good. So I'm not going to play the Argent Squire just in case he does find some Hounds. I don't want to give him an extra one. I didn't think he'd play Explosive Trap there because that would have enraged this and it would have hit harder. I doubt he would have wanted that. He's got another Geomancer. Man, this guy likes his spell damage. So let's take a look. I've got 7, 9 damage. Not enough to kill. So what I'll do here is kill that, get it all nice and ragey, kill that, get 4 damage through. And I'm going to make a little bit of a tech play here. Let's just put the Violet Teacher back in my hand again. Replay her as a heal, basically. So she's been played, the same card has been played for the 3rd time just now, and we're threatening lethal damage. The reason I wanted to do that is because with all these 1 toughness guys and the Violet Teacher being at 1 health, I didn't want to just have everything die to an explosive trap if we found one, but he does not have anything, it turns out, just vanilla minions. And that is our 5th win. So we dip into the loser's bracket for just a second, and we crush the person who we find there. Sorry, the Quentes. I have a good deck. I lost to bad luck. I shouldn't have been playing you. Now I'm going to go ahead and eat a celebratory Papa John's breadstick. God, these things are so marvelously oily. And they're huge. I probably shouldn't be doing this. I shall be eating more of the pizza. Man, you know something's unhealthy when eating pizza seems like a sensible health choice by comparison. Sybil the Druid. Ostensibly, the flame tongue totem is a 2-drop, but not really. It's just an 0-3, so I'm not going to keep it in my opening hand because it would probably just die or go unplayed. Both are bad. So I was hoping to hold on to the Stormforged Axe until after playing the Undead Elemental, but it is not to be. We will use it to kill this ooze that my opponent apparently decided to use because he thought, Stormforged Axe, that's not worth playing around. Which is kind of an interesting move. Turn 1 coin ooze against a shaman, because you generally should not coin a creature unless you have a creature to play afterwards. But if you have another creature to play, why wouldn't you play the ooze second, just in case the opponent does have a Stormforged Axe? Somewhat bizarre play, and he decides either not to play his other 2 toughness minion, or he doesn't have one. All the 3 drops in the universe. Can't play them though. Gotta make a totem because of this overload. Well, the next step is pretty clear. I'm gonna play Violet Teacher. And if I can play these back-to-back Feral Spirits, that would be putting me in pretty good shape. I pretty much have a flooded board with stuff that's very resistant to Starfall and Swipe. So let's see it. Will the Violet Teacher live? She's somewhat likely to with that Taunt Totem in the way. Or at least she's more likely than average. My opponent basically has nothing on turn 4, which is delightful. Alright, change of plans. We're playing Earth Elemental. I will heed the good advice I have received. Against a Druid, it's just going to have a devil of a time killing that thing. And it's a 7-8 with taunt. Now the other option maybe would have been to play the other Violet Teacher. Hope that one of them lives, and then on turn 6 I can play both Feral Spirits. That unfortunately would actually fill up the entire board though, so I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that. Okay. So I'm going to get a little greedy here. I'm going to play the Unbound Elemental. Hoping to get the Feral Spirit to buff it and give me something off the Violet Teacher. And I will kill the Booty with my Earth Elemental. Now a more conservative play would have been to get the Feral Spirits right now, get the Violet Student right now, and then use the Violet Teacher plus the Axe to kill the Booty Bodyguard so that the Earth Elemental wouldn't get damaged. See, because I damaged it, now he was able to finish it off with the Wrath. Okay, he's got an Ancient Watcher. Luckily, he doesn't seem to have the silence for it at the moment, which is just fine by me. So let's go ahead and play the Violet Teacher. Number 2, my Violet Teacher did manage to survive, and Feral Spirit. So this actually is going to fill up my board, because each teacher produces a student, and then the Spirit Wolves themselves are 2 in number. But that's alright, we're going to pound for 6 damage. I don't see any reason to... I mean, I could have killed this thing with the Unbound Elemental plus the Axe, but there's really no point. Let's make him actually prove that this thing's got some teeth to it before I kill it. This is Arena after all. If it were ranked, maybe I would have killed it, knowing he's got the ways to give it taunt, whatever, but here. Let's make him actually demonstrate that he has something. Now the Feral Spirit, much as I'd like to buff the Unbound Elemental, it would literally not fit on the board. I don't even know if this is castable at the moment. Okay, so there's the swipe, clearing some space. Claw, killing my other wolf. Luckily, he cannot shapeshift to finish off this teacher because he's already attacked. Does he have any more removal? He doesn't. Lovely doubly. Well, now I actually can play my other Feral Spirit. Is that the right play? Might as well. Buff my elemental some more, get some more students. It's just like nothing's changed. Now I cannot play the grunt or a totem, but I seemed a little bit too good not to do. And I'm gonna hit him in the face once with this axe so that if we can get lethal, that will be the end of it. Well, it turns out he does have a second swipe, so he is able to clear everything off. Luckily, all he does to follow up is just play Healing Touch, which is essentially going down a card, and these hardy wolves are not going to die to a mere shapeshift, so that's it for that. Alright, no more overload cards for me. Let's check my damage. I have 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Can't quite kill him. Don't really want to use his Fire Elemental yet, so we're going to do Knife Juggler. Fling a knife, fling another knife, and hit him in the face. So this Ancient Watcher here so far is not really all that useful. All it's doing is it's acting as a bag to catch errant knives from the Knife Juggler instead of where otherwise they would have gone to the Druid's face. And again, I'm content to wait for him to give this taunt or something or whatever he wants to do, because there's a chance it's never going to happen. He'd have to get it off the top deck. Obviously, if he had something, he would have already done it, and then I'll kill it after he gets marked with the wilder mark of natured. Okay, another Wrath. Is that going to go for my Knife Juggler or what? No, he's going to kill off one of the wolves. Play Ancient of War. Alright, well I really want to get one of my silences. I believe I still have the Owl and the Earthshock. But they're not forthcoming. So, okay, let's Fire Elemental then. We're going to have to get through this thing the hard way. Fling a knife. Really, this punching bag of knives is not helpful. Let's throw the golem away. When the golem respawns, it will also fling a knife. Wow, that's 3 in a row at the Ancient Watcher. Exactly what I didn't want. So now, you know what? Fuck you, Knife Juggler. You're useless to me. I'll just throw you away. And then we can swingity, swangity, swingle, pass the turn. Gotta say, I mean, we beat an Ancient of War in 2 swipes, at least. Plus, he had a Wrath, he had a Claw, maybe even a second Wrath. I beat a lot of removal to get this far, so I'm gonna give myself some credit. Alright, well, Ironbark Protector, that's just icing on the cake here. It doesn't stop me from winning. We can just power through it. And I think I have... Do I have lethal or did I miscount again? Well, let's find out. So this, that, this, that, the other thing. Yes, I have lethal this time. I actually counted correctly. And that is the game. 3 druids in this arena all go down, well, relatively easily. Elliot was the hardest, but not too much of a challenge. And then now, I've got 2 chances to make it to 7 wins. Gotta say, if I don't make it to 7 wins with this run, that is going to be a shame to end all shames. I really thought, pretty much from the moment that this deck was finished drafting, that it needed to get to 7 wins. Now, should I heighten my expectations? Should I make a draft sometimes and say, oh, this will go to 9, or oh, this will go to 10, or oh, I think this one's going to go to 12? Nope. I'm a simple man. I'm a peasant. I eat black bread and roasted pheasant and Jones cream soda. You know, we make it to 7 wins. That's a win for the day. I don't feel much pressure to do better than that. I mean, I'll try to, but I'm not going to be sad if I don't make it to 10 or anything like that. I'm pretty happy. Tyrion. So we have a Game of Thrones fan. Tyrion is a cool character in that series. I don't watch the show. I just read the books. George R.R. Martin will probably die before that series is finished. But you know what? At this point, I don't care. I think the first Game of Thrones book was one of the greatest books I've ever read. Like, not even like for a fantasy book or anything. I just think it's a spectacular book on its own terms for the character development, the intrigue, all that good stuff. And I'm happy that I read it, even if the series doesn't end. Yeah, whatever. I'm one of those people who I can let books go. There are some people who like can't like stop reading a book once they start it. They feel compelled to finish it. I am not one of those people. I am content to let things go. So if the story never ends, I enjoyed it while it was happening. I don't really mind too much. And Tyrion is a character with a lot of promise. He's, I feel like, not always been as cool as I would hope he would be, but he's definitely a cool dude. Anyway, right now what he's doing is he's killing everything I play. I'm not exactly falling behind on cards, but it's getting close. He has a coin play, that sucks. Making a totem. Does that mean that he's a flame tongue totem and he's going to use it? I don't know. But I'll play the Chillwind Yeti. So Papa Boris, why not play the Feral Spirit? Well, I don't want to overload next turn. And this is approximately as good as these guys. It survives the axe, it kills the totem. Sure, an extra body would have been nice, but I'm going to get the extra body next turn when I play the Silver Hand Knight, which I can do because I'm not overloaded. So, you know, that's that. Now, Earth Elemental against a Shaman, I think that would be a little bit foolhardy, because he could have a Hex. Granted, Hex is the only card he could have, but if he does have it, that would really suck. I don't see any reason to risk it. Might as well play it, you know, on my next turn when I have nothing else to do. I'll play the Earth Elemental, and then see if he has a Hex for that. Touche! Too freaking shay. I could throw both of these guys at it if I wanted to. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, one option is I could do the Unbound Elemental and Lightning Storm. That would deal a minimum of 2 damage. It's really not that helpful. I could do Forked Lightning and Lightning Storm. That would deal a minimum of 4 damage to it. Then I could throw one of this guy away. That would be a little bit safer. That would overload me by 4, so I'd have 3 mana next turn, just enough to play this or this. I could just throw these guys at it and play my own guy. I could keep these guys here and play mine. That's lots of different options. I would just hate for him to have a Hex. And then be stuck next turn with just 4 mana. No way to get rid of this thing apart from killing my creatures. Man, I wish I had my Hex. That would just be the greatest thing. Alright, we're going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Forked Lightning to kill off the Earth and Ring Farseer. And I'm going to pass the turn. So I'm going to hope that ours trade with each other. If he has his Hex and I don't, well, that, you know, life sucks. At least it would be his whole turn hexing this thing. And then next turn, I've only got 2 mana. I'm overloaded for 5, that's right. He does have the Hex. Fuck. He has the Hex, and he's going to use his last tick of the axe. It's like he's playing the cards that I wish I were playing, which are in my deck. FYI. I just didn't draw them. Alright. Well, let's make a totem. And kill that. So I'd say that he's ahead now. He's got 7 full mana and 6 cards. I only have 4 cards, soon to be 5, and only 8 mana to respond. Well, I guess I'm first player, so I'll have more mana to respond to his play, but all I've got's a healing totem, so I'm really kind of behind. And he's got a Ravenwold Assassin. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Alright, so what we do here is the following. Play the Unbound Elemental and Feral Spirit to buff our guy up. We then put the Flame Tongue Totem... I'm going to put it in between these. I could have put it here, and then the Healing Totem would have gotten 2 extra damage through, but I really want to get as much damage as I can onto this guy. And if I put the Flame Tongue over here in the middle, he could have attacked the weaker Spirit Wolf and taken only 2 damage. This way he takes it to all 4 damage. Argent Commander, are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Well, this guy just has non-stop grade A action. Ancestral Healing, what the fuck? Oh my god. Are you goddamn kidding me? Well, we need to hope that Lightning Storm deals 3 damage to this. That is what we are consigned to. Now, I could fish for a totem, but honestly, I'd rather just get the student and take my coin flip this way. So it's got to deal 3 damage or I'm fucked. Here's a very important coin flip. It dealt 2 damage, which means I have to throw away my Unbound Elemental, and that sucks. I could have thrown away just the Healing Totem if it had dealt 3, but instead I threw away the Unbound Elemental. I think it was worth it, though, to get this down instead of having just a 1 in 3 chance of a totem, and 2/3 odds were I would still love to take the same coin flip that I took. Wow, so he got his Hex, I didn't get mine, and He used Ancestral Healing of all things to embarrassingly good effect. It's the first time I've ever seen that card be good, FYI. First time in over 330 arenas I've seen that card actually do something other than totally suck. Well, I'm officially in trouble now. He's got pretty severe card advantage. I could use my Hex still. Apparently this is the game of just me playing whatever it is that he has. So let's do this. Make a totem and think. I could kill this thing by running my healing totem and my Violet Teacher into it. Or I can get 7, 8 damage on his face and just leave this thing alive. The Panther's obviously going to kill my Flame Tongue. I don't know if this is the right play, but it's the play I'm going to make. Gonna let him kill my Flame Tongue. Got this Ogre here, and the Ogre's gonna have to go all the way to the distance, or else I lose. Wow, he actually has a second Earth Elemental. We all know what I'm gonna say now. What I'm gonna say is, are you goddamned kidding me, Jesus? And I still didn't get my motherfucking Hex! Ah. Well, let's swing a couple of knives, see where they go. They go pretty much nowhere. And that is that. I'm gonna lose my Boulder Fist Ogre. He still has 2 cards. And there's nothing I could draw that would help me. A Hex would get rid of one of his creatures. And that would be that. So, I know someone's gonna be angry because I didn't play that game out. Whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna play on the odds of top decking a Hex to kill the Frostwolf Warlord, when he can kill off my entire board and still have 3 cards after his draw for the turn. So that is a historic moment. I lost to somebody with Ancestral Healing. Then again, though, I also lost to, you know, a pair of Earth Elementals and him having a Hex for my Earth Elemental when I did not have a Hex for his. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. The 2 games that I've lost, I've been atrociously unlucky. I just hope I don't get another unlucky game and actually end this run at 6 wins. That would be phenomenally embarrassing. So we'll keep this for turn 2 and then possibly follow it up with this on turn 3. That would be the hope. I wonder if Blizzard's ever going to make an Overload 0 card. It doesn't do anything, it just triggers Unbound Elementals. The Overload 0 makes no difference. That's really dumb. Why did I even say that out loud? That's a stupid idea. Alright, so what we can do here is a couple of different things. I could either play the Unbound Elemental, or I could just play the Knife Juggler. I could Knife Juggler, coin, Lightning Bolt, then I cannot play the Unbound Elemental next turn. If I Unbound Elemental now, with the coin, the Money Berserker can get enraged against it, but then I could just finish it off with my Squire. So I'm actually going to do this. This seems like a pretty good move. The Berserker can get enraged, but it doesn't kill my Unbound Elemental. Then my Divine Shield finishes it off. I play Feral Spirit, buff this guy, and I swing for 3. It seems pretty good. Now, some removal could stop that, but at least I'm not overloaded. And I can always play Knife Juggler, Lightning Bolt, or Feral Spirit next turn anyway, even if he does kill my stuff. If he played a Shattered Sun Cleric, he could make this a 3/4, turn on Enrage, and then it would be a 6/3. Looks, however, like he's going to take the safe way out. He's just going to kill my Unbound Elemental before it can become a problem. Well, that's pretty smart. Alright, so do you play the Feral Spirit here? I think the answer is yes. The reason I want to play it here, even though waiting for the Knife Juggler would have been sexy to get those 2 Knifelings, is that I want to be able to play the Earth Elemental on turn 5 against a Druid specifically, because Druids don't have any class-specific good answers to it, so I want to get the Overload out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to play Dark Iron Dwarf, which is actually pretty good in this situation. I'll just draw my Knife Juggler, and I'm going to ignore that Dwarf for now. I'm just going to swing at his face a whole bunch. Stampeding Kodo hopefully does not kill the wolves. Kills the wolf. Ah, it's unfortunate. So I'm still going to do this, because Druids just don't have an answer here. Knife could hit the Dark Iron Dwarf if I were lucky. I am not, so I'm going to just use the Knife Juggler himself to kill the Dwarf. Minimize the damage taken by this Earth Elemental. Next turn I have only 3 mana, and not much to do with it. So I could fall a little bit behind, but I think I'm going to be alright. Earth Shock does not help me. Nothing really helps here, unfortunately. So let's make a totem. Spell damage, let me kill this with a Lightning Bolt. Unfortunately, I don't get that. I'm going to kill his spell damage for sure. And a Healing Totem. Not the worst thing. This being at 5, I don't know, it might make it survive against some stuff. Like a swipe, I guess. It's going to Wrath. Now, the nice thing about the Healing Totem is he now has to Wrath for 3 damage to get it to die, otherwise he could have just Wrathed for 1. So he bounced back pretty well from that Earth Elemental. Unfortunately, now he's got this piddly board, and I've got nothing to play. I need a creature, like a Boulder Fist Ogre would be great, Silverhand Knight would be great. I need something to play here, or else I'm just kind of sitting around doing nothing. I get Unbound Elemental, huh? Alright, so let's do this. Make a totem. Hopefully a taunt. Not a chance. A Lightning Storm would clear his board, but that would be a little bit silly. Let's just go ahead and Lightning Bolt that to grow this thing and pass the turn. So hopefully Lightning Storm will be good next turn. Hopefully he plays a bunch of little stuff, not a bunch of big stuff. Well, if he plays one big thing like that, I've got my Hex this time. Thank you, game. Appreciate it much. Keep that coming. There's a Violet Teacher, which is also actually a pretty good top deck because it gives me a student, and it was exactly the maximum amount of mana that I could play. Let's get rid of that frog. Pass the turn. I might actually be able to win with Bloodlust next turn if I'm a little bit lucky. Let's see, we have 4 creatures, so Bloodlust is 12. Oh my god. Well, for once in my goddamn life, my opponent did not mind control tag the very best creature that I had, which would have been the Violet Teacher. You get this guy, which is fine, I'm not that bothered by it. So let's take a look at the situation. Bloodlust is 9 damage, 9 plus 6 is 15, so it doesn't really do the job. But what we can do here is the following. I can Earth Shock this guy. Drops it down to be a 4-2. I can either now Lightning Storm to kill everything. I'm just going to Lightning Storm, why not? It saves the Fire Elemental for later. And it beefs up this guy to almost unkillable levels. So thank you, Spell Damage Totem, I owe you one. Alright, so now we're threatening the win with Bloodlust. Even without Bloodlust, this is 9 damage, so my opponent has to know he's in a little bit of trouble. But Bloodlust is obviously going to give me more than enough to kill him. Swipe is his best answer because it lets him kill off all these students, and the Violet Teacher herself, it seems. Yeah, so he takes 3 damage for that at least. And he's going to naturalize my Unbound Elemental. Well, without that, he would have actually taken 13 damage. 4 plus 9 for Bloodlust would have been 13, so he would have lost. So that is actually keeping him in the game. And then for good measure, he makes a little Panther. Alright, well, now is the season of our discontent. Let's go ahead and Fire Elemental that. Make a totem. And again, I'm threatening the kill with Bloodlust. I also have extra damage in the form of the Stormwind Knight, which is 2 damage. 3 with Bloodlust, so it's actually an extra like 5 damage, really. And also Lightning Bolt. I can play all 3 of those cards, Bloodlust, Stormwind Knight, and Lightning Bolt. So, should be good. Alright, he's actually testing me here. He's giving me a taunt that I have to get through, and he's also going to kill off my 1-1. So I'm not 100% certain that I can kill him, but I'll do my best. The order is very important. First, you have to play the Stormwind Knight. Then, you play the Bloodlust. Let's maximize our damage here. 3 damage. So yeah, I think I'll just do this. Okay. Because then I could have used a totem and the 9 plus 3 plus 5 would have definitely been lethal damage. But if I just attacked this with my Fire Elemental, that would not have been enough. No, I could have... Okay, so I could have attacked... I didn't need the Forked Lightning. I could have attacked the Yeti with my 2 totems. My Stormwind Knight and my Fire Elemental dealt 14 damage, which is more life than what he had. So that's why he conceded, because he knew that he lost. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, that was a pretty good game, and we made it to 7 wins with that particular game, so I'm 7-2. One more unlucky game and I lose, or one more game against a deck that is even better than mine, and I lose, but at least I got our 150 gold back. Let's just see how far we can make it. Warlock. Well, the success or failure of this game, if he's like most Warlocks, depends mostly entirely on my ability to get my mass removal. Fort Lightning is one of the cards I want. The other card I really want is Lightning Storm, and of course it's possible this is a slow Warlock, but I'm not going to gamble on that being the case. Because in Arena, fast Warlock is definitely the way to go. And he does get off to a fast start here with a Flame Imp and another Flame Imp. Please be another Flame Imp. Infiltrator. That's actually not another Flame Imp, but that is just as good because Forked Lightning kills them both. I'm not going to mess around playing 2 drops. We're just going to get the kill right now. It does mean that next turn I can't do anything, but I just killed 2 of his creatures with a hold-on card. And so it's kind of a win for us both. For him it's a win because he now has tempo. He can get basically 2 turns in a row. But it's a win for me because I got to stop a lot of his aggression, and I figure that's pretty much all this guy's got going for him is unbridled aggression. So next turn we'll play Knife Juggler and a Berserker. That might kill one of these Murlocs. Or that Wolf Rider, for that matter. So as long as the one singular knife that I get does not hit him in the face, I'll be fine. And as you can observe here, I am facing a fast Murloc deck. Not the face. Alright, it killed the worst of the minions, but really anything I kill here is a boon. There is no life gain in this deck at all, so all the damage it deals to me is damage to stay. At the moment, apart from, I mean, he's got to kill the Knife Juggler. He just has to. That's a must. I'd be very shocked if he ignored everything and just hit my face without killing the Knife Juggler. Does he have any spells or anything? He's actually going for broke. He's going for full-on broke, which I'm not sure I really agree with, but, well, that's what he wants to do. So what we're going to do here is the following. I'm going to kill this wolf because I don't want knives going into it. I want to maximize my odds of the knives hitting this, and I'm going to get 3 knife flings here. So this is number 1. Good. This is number 2. And then one more chance to hit that Wolf Rider. Nope. Okay. So what's the most dangerous creature that he has? I'd say the Pyromancer. So the pass the turn here is going to get me down to 14 health. I need taunt. I don't have any taunt as my current issue. It's going to be difficult for him to, I think, get 14 damage through against a Shaman. I mean, as soon as I find my taunt totem, I'll be in pretty good shape. But he probably has to go for it. I bet he just has to hit me in the face and try to do it. No, he's going to take the moment to kill that Flame Tongue. Interesting choice. And then all of a sudden drop a Dark Scale Healer. Well, that's alright by me. Oh no, he's going to Soulfire, the best 2-drop in the game. I was going to say I could have killed that with my 2-drop, but I cannot. Alright, so Lightning Storm. 3 to 4 damage. Don't really want to risk that, because if it only deals 3 damage to this thing, I'm kind of screwed. So what I'm going to do here is... well, actually, this plus Lightning Storm is actually not bad. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this plus Lightning Storm. If I do win the coin flip, I get to kill this thing. If I don't win the coin flip, I still have a 3-5. And I need to take the chance I can, every chance I can to clear his board. So I do win the coin flip. It kills that thing off. Now you can life tap freely, getting 2 cards per turn, but I've got a 3-5 ready to kill most things he could play, and since he's an aggro-based deck, I figure this will knock out most of his minions. Like the Raging Organ, that's going to die. For certainly. Okay, now we can build on our advantage, playing a Silver Hand Knight. Look how good that card is, dropping so much onto the board. He's got 17 damage he still has to deal, and I don't think he can do it anymore. Kenko went for it, but it wasn't good enough. Alright, so that'll deal 7 damage, which is pretty strong. However, Earth Elemental arrives just in time. It's an overload. It actually beefs up the Unbound Elemental. I get my Taunt Totem as well. So lots of salt on the wounds here for Kenko the Warlock. He has to get past those 2 Taunters, and I've got pretty close to lethal damage myself. That's one of the weird things about playing aggro, is you think I'm on the offensive, but you don't realize that as your opponent starts tickling damage through, you can suddenly be the one who's almost dead. So Engine is decent protection for him. He's going to life tap out of desperation more than anything else, I suppose. Kills my Taunt Totem. Alright. Well, all we gotta do now is kill him. So let's actually just hex this thing. Kill it with my Squire. And then my 2 Shaman cards get the kill. He's fast on the concede, and that is a wrap. Good game. 8 wins. Ahoy. This has been a fun deck to play with. It is nice having all of the Shaman cards, as opposed to none of the Shaman cards, as was the case last time. I think the only thing I had that was Shaman-esque was like a 1 lightning bolt or something like that. Like that was it. Or maybe 1 earth shock. I don't even remember. It was like 1 card, but definitely no fire elementals, lightning storms, or hexes. Maybe 1 hex is what it was. I don't know. It was a bad deck, is what I'm trying to say. All right, great. So who's our next opponent? It is another Shaman. Well, the last Shaman we played faced off with 2 earth elementals and a hex for hours. So I was none too pleased about that series of developments. I'm not going to keep these Feral Spirits. I will keep the Unbound Elemental. I can play it on turn 2 with the coin. Well then, I guess I'll be playing them back to back to back to back to back. Now there are starts a person could have that will defeat back to back 2/4s beginning on turn 2. But it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. In fact, I might not even need to do that. I might just play this on turn 2. Yes, now that there's this thing to enrage against, that seems good. I wish I had drawn my Argent Squire turn earlier. I don't want to coin it out here, though, because I do want to have the option to play Unbound Elemental Coin Lightning Bolt, which is pretty strong. Okay, I think that is indeed what I'm going to do. I wish I had the Squire on the field already so I can kill off one of these 1/1s. Alright, so here it is. Unbound Elemental, Coin, Lightning Bolt. I don't want him getting... I want to reduce the odds of his getting Taunt or Spell Damage Totem, so I'll kill the Totem rather than the Pig. Got a 5/2 and a 3/5. He's got all of his mana. I can't play this because I'm overloaded. I can just play another 2/4, which isn't the greatest thing against some 4-drops. But the thing is, if he plays a Yeti or a Senjin, I've got the kill for it, so he might not even play one, but this thing is still doing its job by preventing him from playing a really good 4-drop. And I want to get as many of these out as I can so that as I draw my Feral Spirits, Lightning Bolts, Forked Lightnings, and so forth, I can actually avail myself of them. So he's going to trade the Pig for a card, which is very reasonable. The other advantage of this move is it makes this guy now die to the Cult Master. So do I keep the harder hitting but more fragile one, or the sturdier but the less hitting one, less harder hitting one? This guards against Senjins and stuff, but this also dies more easily to things like Forked Lightning. I'm going to trust my instincts. I'm actually going to keep that guy around. I do think he's got a Senjin or a Yeti. I don't know why I think that. I just think he does. So I'm going to keep this around in case he wants to play a 5 toughness minion. He's going to play the Unbound Elemental and Forked Lightning. So that'll buff his and then kill him off my thing. Well, if I had kept my Unbound Elemental, I'd be in better shape. That is a fact. Alright, let's play the Yeti, the Squire, swing. Pub Boars, why didn't you silence this? Well, silencing it wouldn't have helped. It would have dropped back to 4 health, still couldn't have killed it, and then I would have been playing a 2/1 instead of an actual better minion. He's overloaded twice from the Forked Lightning, so that's going in my favor. Next turn I can play the Stormwind Knight and the Owl, which could be good. Healing Totem's unfortunate. It will heal this up. Luckily, the Yeti can still kill it. As long as he doesn't have an answer, he does not. Okay, perfect. So I don't even need to use my Owl here at all. I can just kill this thing off. Play the Flame Tongue. Swingity, swangity, swingle. And you might say, Papa Boars, why are you not playing Stormwind Knight? Didn't you say that you should always play the card that costs more mana, all else being equal? Yes. I don't think that was all else being equal, though. I think having this, because I have a deck full of Overload cards, is worth it to already have this on the table. And this is a surprise that is also good to keep surprises in the back pocket, especially when they can be buffed by a Flame Tongue Totem. So in my opinion, getting this onto the table was more valuable than getting 4 extra damage with a Stormwind Knight that turn. He does have the Fire Elemental, unfortunately, to kill my Flame Tongue with. He's going to kill the Yeti. That's an interesting choice. I don't know if I agree with that, per se. I think he should have killed my Flame Tongue. It works out pretty well for him because can't really efficiently get rid of this Fire Elemental. But, let's see, do I even want to kill it? I could just swing for 5 plus 4 is 9, down to 14, play this totem, or this Taunter in the way. That's risky, though. Yeah, let's not take risks. Let's just throw this and that away. Swing for 4. Play a Taunter, pass the turn. So he's got a lot of cards. He's got 7 cards. He's actually probably... Whoa. He's actually probably got the advantage to win this game. But if he doesn't have a lot of removal, he could still lose to my Flame Tongue enhanced team. He pointed something at himself. That was probably a Rock Biter weapon. Argent Commander's a pretty good answer to that Frostwolf Grunt. So you can actually kill the Grunt and the Flame Tongue Totem now. He takes 4 damage to keep the Divine Shield on this guy, which makes sense. And I'm left with a pretty significant card disadvantage. 3 plus 6 is 9 damage, can't quite kill him. But I will do this, make a totem, heal him. Taunt is nice, prevents further Rock Biters. Well, he really wants removal now. It's pretty much all he wants. If I get a Bloodlust, unimpeded, that's 12 plus 5, that will actually kill him. I do have the kill. If he does not impede me, and impeding can come from either killing my creatures or playing taunts or maybe gaining enough life. Although that is 17 damage, so he'd have to gain at least 4 life, which is pretty unlikely. If he gets a Lightning Storm, he just wins on the spot. That's not a taunt, which is good. That's not a taunt, which is good. That's not a taunt. Oh my god, he needs like a Shield Bearer or a Goldshire Footman. He actually, amazingly, had nothing. No taunt, no removal of any kind, so I guess he just used it all up on the previous turns, and that Bloodlust that I drafted gives me the kill that I needed. That was very lucky, but you know, I've gotten very unlucky twice in this arena, so getting a very lucky one time here, I'm pretty much okay. Alright, so 9 wins just like that. We were at 6-2, now we're at 9-2, and I'm hoping to get into 10 wins to guarantee that if I get a common as my reward, it will not be golden. Also at 10 wins, you usually won't get that much gold reward, but there is a chance of getting into like the 300s. Why do I care about gold, you might ask? Well, it's still unknown how much the Naxxramas expansion is going to cost, and the cap that you can have on gold is 20,000. I feel like that was a genius move by Blizzard, putting a cap on how much gold you can have, because on the one hand, obviously it stops certain supposed exploits that there were for farming gold, but on the other hand, it also like gives a goal, because if gold was unlimited, it'd be like, whatever. But now there's this limit of 20,000, it's like, man, I'm a real badass if I get up to 20,000 gold. And I am getting there, slowly but surely. Just a few months ago, I was at like 6,000 or 7,000, and here we are, 11,000. You just take a little break from the game, and that's that. You know, I'm kind of sad about my vacation. When I go on vacation, I'm not going to be able to do my Hearthstone daily quests. So I'm not going to be able to get all my gold that I am due for those days. Quite sad, quite sad, quite sad. Alright, X, Godlike X. Ah, jeez, this is one of those people that, like, I'm just going to be embarrassed to lose to, because he's clearly no older than 12, first of all. And he's not even, like, a smart 12-year-old. This is, like, a dumb 12-year-old who thinks that putting X's around your name is cool. Man, I don't understand it. Like, back in my day, like, when I was a young one, it was already well understood that putting X's around your name was actually not that impressive. So how is it that, like, in the modern age, many years later, people are still doing this crap? Anyway, Leper Gnome. So we might be facing an aggro-oriented paladin. I say might just because, you know, there's always a chance this is a regular paladin deck that just happens to have a Leper Gnome in it. In my arena run not too long ago, I played against a priest who played, like, back-to-back Leper Gnomes on turn 1 and 2. But then he had nothing else for like 3 turns, and it turns out he was just a regular old priest deck who just happened to have 50 scourgillion Leper Gnomes. And he happened to have gotten them early on. Alright, now what I could do here is I could actually Earthshock this. Not because I care about the damage, but because it would clear the board. I'm not going to do it, though. I have the coin, he does not, so he can't play any of the Paladin 4-mana spells. There's a decent chance that next turn, you know, he plays a creature, I can play the Unbound Elemental, and then clear off his board. Not a great chance, mind you, but a decent chance. So Abusive Sergeant will allow the Recruit to trade with my Grunt. That actually gives him a little bit of cut advantage. He's going to make a Recruit. So again, he's clinging to the board. I'm not able to get rid of it. You know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet here. gonna bite the bullet in one way or the other. So I'm not just gonna play the Unbend the Month Lord, just the Harvest Golem. I'm gonna clear his board. I can do it either by using this and Earthshock, by this coin Earthshock, or by coin and the Stormwind Knight. I see, if I play this, then the coin doesn't really have any value to me. Okay, let's do this guy. It's the sturdiest thing I have. Keeps the board clear, leaves me with a 2-4. I can play this guy next turn, so I can still keep on killing his recruits. Now, what I don't want to see is a True Silver Champion. This would have died to Hammer of Wrath or True Silver Champion. This only dies to True Silver Champion, so I'm giving him just one out to clear my board with. And by the pause that he is exhibiting here, I'm guessing he doesn't have it. Flesh Eating Ghoul, also a pretty good play. Oh, please don't play anything with your 1 mana. It's a Young Priestess Man. So he also has his own 2-4. Quite clever, actually. If I kill this, this thing gets harder hitting. Ah, jeez. Alright, we're going to do this the hard way. I'm going to do this. Hit the ghoul, and then hit the ghoul again. Letting him keep the Young Priestess for a turn, but I figured killing that ghoul was actually worth it. All things considered, his turn 4 was not the worst thing that could happen, but it was a pretty good turn 4, considering it wasn't part of what I would have expected turn 4 to be. Ventricle Mercenary. Alright, so I can't really race against that effectively, but I don't have my Hex. Well, this sucks. So we're going to drop as much stuff onto the board as we can, but yeah, I'm not in the right time or place to deal with that Ventricle Mercenary. He's just going to get to go wild with that thing. And he is indeed going to go for broke. He's going to go for the face. He's not going to stop to kill my minions or anything. He's just going to go for it. Alright, let's get a totem out. Taunt is really nice. So I'm going to Fork Lightning, mainly to kill the Fairy Dragon. I'm going to ignore his Ventricle Mercenary. So my hope here is that he doesn't have an answer for this Taunt Totem. The Ventricle runs into it, doesn't achieve anything. I wish I had a minion I could have played that turn for 3 mana. That would have been really nice. Because if I don't play anything, I'm not really getting any advantage out of this guy's drawback. Plays a Spellbreaker to silence, I presume, the Taunt Totem. So he can keep on hitting me in the face, trying to race me out. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Let's fish for spell damage. I really hope I get it. I actually got it. That's remarkable. Now, coin flip here. Very important coin flip. Kill that Ventricle Mercenary. I do need to kill it now. I lose the coin flip, unfortunately. So I have to throw my golem at it. Well, this is a close game. I'm at 12 health. It's really kind of far for a paladin to burn. I am ahead on the board. I've got 2 lightning bolts, which deal 4 damage a pop. Now, 1 consecration is all it takes, and suddenly he's back in this game. But he only has 4 cards, which is not really more cards than what I have. I mean, I have 3 real cards plus 2 removals. Ah, Jesus. Well, what do I want right now? I don't know what I want. There's nothing good. I want my owl. Oh my god, I got my owl! That's amazing! So we get to ping off the Divine Shield. The health of the owl, we'll use the damaged golem and the lightning bolt to kill it off. I'm going to enrage my berserker against this loot hoarder, giving him a card. So I want a healing totem now. That would be the greatest thing. I don't get it. I get the 1/1, which is good in its own right, just not as good as healing. Note that while this is here, I cannot get a taunt totem again. And again, 1 consecration and he pretty much wins the game, but he's only got 4 cards, and I've got 5, 7, 9 damage, 10 damage on the table. He's only got 16 health. I mean, I'm almost able to burn him out next turn. So here comes the Azure Drake. Is he going to consecrate for 3 damage across the board to win the game? That would clear my board and win him the game. I would concede on the spot. No, he has Humility, which is not what he needs. So my guy just turns into a 1/1. And we're in business here. We are in it. We are in it to win it, especially with this Boulder Fist Ogre. Oh my goodness. So we're going to do this. We're going to throw away our guy there. Lightning Bolt. Wait, can I win? No, I couldn't win. Lightning Bolt with spell damage kills that. Use the 1/1 totem to kill that. Swing for 4 damage. We are clobbering, clawing our way back into this. I actually now have equal life to him and a Boulder Fist Ogre, which will kill him in 2 turns. He's got to have some pretty good stuff. He needed a Consecration or a True Silver this game. He had neither, which is kind of impressive at 9 wins, being up against a Paladin. And by impressive, I mean lucky. It's not actually impressive. So I've not won this yet, but I'm in pretty good shape. Okay. So I've already used Earthshock and my Owl, so I cannot unfreeze my Ogre, unfortunately. And he does have 8 damage on the table here, 5 of which I can't really do anything about. Alright, so I can't get a taunt totem. This is actually, that was a really good turn for him. 5, 7, 8 damage, but 4 health. I don't really want that to be the case. 5, 7 being at 5. I'm okay with being at 5, because at 5, True Silver does not kill me. So we will throw the owl away for his recruit, because I want to make sure I'm not at 4. And unfortunately, I can't kill that, so... I could have thrown this and the owl at that, but I wanted to get 2 damage through, so now I'm threatening lethal myself. So if he can't deal 5 damage in 2 cards, he will lose. Blessing of Kings is 4 damage, so he needs 1 more point of damage. Does he actually have it? He has an abusive sergeant. Are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus! Oh, Jesus, the Frost Elemental. Oh, man. If it had not frozen my ogre, I could have just killed it. Oh, wow. Well, we lose to fucking Godlike. That's the only thing I'm annoyed about, is that I lost to X Godlike X. That's such a dumb name, and he had exactly the cards he needed. Just, he needed 2 cards that combined deal 5 or more damage, and he actually got Blessing of Kings and Abusive Sergeant. He had one already, he top decked the other. I had no taunt. We get Golden Freezing Trap, 20 dust, and 160 gold. Kind of a lame result. But let's take a sneak peek at our next arena. What shall it be? If you enjoyed this video, please like and or subscribe. The next video is going to be Mage, Warlock, or Paladin. I'm actually just tempted to do another Paladin run to catch up on Paladin some more, but who knows? We shall see. Folks, I'll see you soon.